Good evening. I'm David.
And I'm Tamara. So glad that you're with us tonight. Emotional freedom. Don't we all want emotional freedom? You've got to join us on this amazing broadcast with our guest, Art Giser. We'll be right back.
The following program is presented by Loving Meditations.
Unwind and transform your mind with Peaceful Oasis Live, the concert series hosted by Tamara Green and David Dachinger of Loving Meditations. Masters of mindfulness, music, and storytelling transport you into a state of deep relaxation through soulful conversations, calming meditations, and expansive music, all brought to you live. View past episodes and sign up to get upcoming events and inspirations delivered to your inbox at peacefuloasislive.com. We appreciate you, our viewers, supporting our mission for peace and calm. And we're back, and Art Giser, he is an internationally renowned neuro-linguistic programming trainer, executive coach, leadership consultant, intuitive remote energy worker, and healer. He is the creator of Energetic NLP, a special blend of NLP, which again is neuro-linguistics programming, spiritual principles, and transformative energy work. And just wait to see what he has for us. It's amazing. So let's bring on Art.
Well, hi. It's great to be here.
Hey, good evening, Art.
It's so good that you're with us, Art. Wow. This really is very special for me, particularly because I did hear you on a radio show about 11 years ago, and you just blew me away. So I know you're going to blow everybody away, our audience away as well. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, great to have you.
Well, we'd love to ask the question because most people have heard of NLP. Mm-hmm. But what's the difference between that and energetic neuro-linguistic programming?
NLP, to explain the difference between NLP or neuro-linguistic programming and energetic NLP, I'll just briefly talk about NLP. Mm-hmm. So NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming. And for those of you who've never heard of it, you've heard of the most famous person in our field, who is Tony Robbins. And he has his own way of doing things. But the core of his power to change people's lives comes from his training in NLP. And I think he started a year or two before I did. He's done a little better marketing, slightly better well known than me. And NLP, the people who started NLP were interested in how can people make rapid, deep personal changes. And at first they thought of it as being therapeutic, and then they expanded it to being therapeutic, but also about how do you acquire the skills and abilities of other people? And I've been an NLP trainer since 1985. I studied with all the developers and was really fortunate to have one of them as my mentor. And NLP is a phenomenal field. But about the same time I was studying NLP, I started studying healing and intuition development and clairvoyance. And I realized that in spiritual principles, and I realized all of these different systems had different strengths and weaknesses. And that when you put them together, you had something that went beyond any of them. So I like to think of energetic NLP, its parents are NLP, spiritual principles, healing, transformative energy work, and intuition development. But like any child, it's grown into its own unique thing, hopefully taking the best of all of its parents.
Wow. Yeah, so emotional freedom from, things that people don't even realize, the unconscious programming, for example. Can you explain what unconscious programming is?
Yeah, so since Freud, we've all known that we have unconscious minds and that our unconscious mind has enormous power and effect in our lives. Though most people way underestimate the power of their unconscious mind. It's like when people talk about visualization and affirmations, they go, well, I visualized what I want. And they did consciously, but that doesn't mean that's what their unconscious mind was visualizing. And we'll talk more about that later. But we have a tremendous amount of programming, just like computer programming. It's in our unconscious mind. And it affects everything in your life, how you think, how you feel, what you can do, what you can't do. And, we tend to think that our emotions are authentic. Well, I'm feeling this is what I'm really feeling. And I'm going to invite you to explore today, what if your emotions aren't necessarily authentic? And how do you actually change it so that your emotions are authentic? Because I found that most of the time people's emotional states are only partially authentic or not authentic at all.
And to be clear, authentic meaning real or not real, or what do you mean?
Anything that you feel, you could say is real.
Yeah.
But so, we all have energy fields in and around our bodies, and people have known that for thousands of years, and now physics can confirm that we have energy fields. Now, they don't yet know how to measure some of the energy fields that ancients were talking about, but the idea that we have energy fields is no longer an old ancient superstition. Right. And energy carries emotions and thoughts. And if that and information, if that sounds odd to some of the listeners, the only way human beings can communicate is through energy. Yeah. So we're all now communicating through energy. If we were in the same room together, we move our mouths and our tongues and our vocal cords. It vibrates through the air energetically, goes into somebody's ear, gets turned into neurochemical energy, goes into the brain, and your brain turns it into what we call sounds. So, and if you're reading a book, you're reading it because the energy of the light is hitting the page and bouncing back in your eyes, and also being turned into neurochemical and electrical energies. Mm-hmm. So all information exchange is energetic. So when you absorb energy from other people, you're getting their thoughts, their rules, but you're also getting their emotional states. And sometimes that's fun. If you've ever seen a movie that was really, really funny in the theater, and you get home and it's not so funny, it's because the energy of everybody's laughter and humor resonates and builds. Or if it's a scary movie, it's way scarier in a movie theater than at home. It's the same with a sporting event. So we're constantly absorbing and giving off energies, and those energies have these thoughts and emotions. A lot of that, I shouldn't say a lot of that, but some of that gets trapped in people's energy fields and bodies, and then you think it's your authentic emotions, and it's not.
Oh, other people's energy got trapped. Right. Now I really see what you're saying here.
Can I just say, that starts in the womb. We're absorbing energies from our parents and the people around us. And part of that is because we love them. Part of them is because we're trying to heal them, because if the giants aren't okay, we're not okay. So we start absorbing energies from them. So you might, let's say that I have had clients who go, I'm an anxious person. I've always been anxious. It must be my DNA, and I've always been this anxious person. And I've learned to meditate and I can calm down, but I'm an anxious person. And then it turns out that when they were in the womb, they started absorbing anxiety from the people around them. And any woman who's been pregnant knows there's a fair amount of anxiety to start with. And if the fetus absorbs a lot of that, as you go through life, it's just there until you learn how to clear it. And you just think, oh, that's who I am. That's just my biology or my psychology. When a lot of times, then I'll work with people and we clear that energy and they go, oh. And it isn't that they never have anxiety, but they have authentic anxiety, not somebody else's anxiety.
Oh, now you're making it so clear. I'm totally getting it, even though I'm blonde. What do you know?
But we've recently spent a lot of time speaking about absorbing energy or receiving other people's energy and then holding on to it and not realizing that it's not ours. And so how can we recycle that or kind of, get it flowing back out of our beingness?
Our energy field.
Yeah. And your energy field, it gets in your cells. And there's a couple of steps to it. And through the course of these two broadcasts, I'm happy to teach people how to do it. The problem that some people do is they'll just move energies out. And some of the energies won't move out, but some of them will, because we're constantly attracting in new energies. And let's say I get a little anxious, I'm likely to absorb energies from other people. It's one of the reasons I think that road rage happens, is because people are frustrated and angry on the highways. Not everybody, happily, but enough people. And some of that energy stays on the highways. So for some people, they're driving and they start getting frustrated and angry. All of a sudden, they get overwhelmed because they start pulling in that matching energy. And the problem with it is it can be really hard to control energies that aren't yours, because you're trying to handle it, but it's not yours. You can't really heal it. You can clear it, but you can't heal it. So one thing is to clear energies. But if you only clear energies, that's just kind of like taking an aspirin. If you've ever weeded a garden, I remember I grew up in Southern California at a time when there was all these new suburban developments and you had to have a perfect lawn. There was something called Dachinger that looks like clover, and a weed looks terrible in Dachinger. I spent most of my childhood weekends pulling, this probably isn't true, this is where I remember it, pulling the weeds out. And I remember my dad looking at me and going, you know, if you want to just pull the tops off, you can, but you're going to be right out here again next week unless you get the roots. Well, it's the same in energy work. There's an incredible number of talented, really talented energy workers who just were never taught to go for the roots. So I used to get energy healings and boy, I'd feel fantastic. And a week or two later, I'd feel like I had before. And I'd get another healing and I'd feel fantastic. And a week or two later, I'd feel the same. So in energetic NLP, we're always going, what are the roots? What is allowing those energies to stay in our energy field? Because there's a principle in energy work that you're the sovereign of your energy field. In fact, in some of my training programs, we give people kind of gold, sort of Burger King type crowns, you know, and to remind them, like, you're the sovereign of your energy field. It's like you probably hear people talk about, you know, energy vampires. And I understand why people say that. I actually have a YouTube video on it. And I don't believe that at all. I do believe there's people that will try to take our energy. But as soon as you think of them as an energy vampire, you know, you're saying they're more powerful than I am and they can suck my energy away. Well, people can pull on your energy. They can't keep it unless you allow it. And that allowing often comes from unconscious or energetic programming or karma, because it isn't just unconscious programming. There's energetic programming and there's karma and spiritual contracts. So we're always looking in energetic NLP, how do we change the programming, the karma, the spiritual contracts, so that people can't take your energy and hold on to it, and so that you don't keep holding on to their energy and then blaming them. My mother's in my space. Well, you're holding on to her.
Exactly. May not be totally aware that you are, but
No.
And that's part of this process too, right?
Yeah, typically, people are, unless people are very aware, they're not aware.
Yeah.
So we just
Right.
blame other people. Like, I was in a good mood till I was around you.
You're constantly being impacted by the outside world until you start to change what's going on internally at the root.
Yeah, and if you do that, then you don't have to be afraid of other people's
Yeah.
emotional energy, and you can be a lot more present to them. And one set of programming, and this is true for a lot of men too, but it's really true for women, is, you know, all that biological programming that's designed for mothers, you know, must take care of. And, you know, women can get all this program that you have to take care of other people. So then it makes it easy to hold on to their energy trying to heal it. And there's much, much better ways to do it than that. So by changing that programming, then you can actually help people more than just holding on to their energy.
Wow.
This is great
important
information and conversation. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back and chat some more with Art.
Yeah.
Peaceful Oasis Live is on the E360 TV app. Watch us live on the Health and Wellness channel and catch our past episodes on your favorite smart device by downloading the E360 TV app from the App Store.
Yay, we're back with Art Giser. This is such juicy stuff. I love it. I love it. I've heard you talk about old emotions. Can you describe what old emotions are?
So where we're going in this is a lot of people, their idea of emotional freedom is not to have negative emotions. And I'm hoping by the end of these two sessions, people listening won't believe in the idea of negative emotions anymore. They have a whole other way of looking, won't be afraid of any emotions anymore. And the idea, your authentic emotions are in the present. Old emotions are either not yours or they're yours, but they're from some other time. So it's like thoughts from when you were 5 years old. It's not authentic in the moment. I mean, unless you still think exactly the same way. And so you want your emotions to be coming out of the present, not out of the past. So a lot of the old emotions is other people's emotional energy that's trapped. Sometimes old emotions, like old traumas, old events of different kinds, that energy can stay stuck in us too. And the idea is to be able to clear that also so you can be fully in the present.
You're talking about energy fields, and maybe some people listening don't really get what that is or understand what that is. Can you describe that more?
That's a great question. And let me describe it. One thing, there's a couple of things about energetic NLP. Well, there's a lot of things that are unique. One is that we're not super attached to our beliefs or ideas because the human energy field is complex and beautiful and multidimensional. And people are always presenting it like it's a simple thing that's exactly the same. When I was a medical researcher, I remember reading an article once, and now you see pictures of what your liver looks like and your stomach looks like. And in this article, they showed pictures of real ones. And most of them resemble the pictures, but look really different. Your body doesn't think it needs to look like a textbook. In the same way, your chakras, you don't necessarily look the way they look in the textbooks. And to me, you need to have models and ways of thinking about things, and they're all really useful. I just don't think they're actually true. So when I look at somebody's, let's say their heart chakra, if I want to, I can see it as a vortex coming out like that and do useful work. Or I can take one of the Eastern versions of it and see it as a multi-petaled flower in your Sushumna channel by your spine pointing up. Or you might go, well, how can it be this thing pointing up and this thing that goes backwards and forwards? And to me, it's because it's all of that and more. And these are representations that we make because they're easier to work with. So when I talk about the energy field, I want people to take it. It's something more you get the feel of, I think, than trying to narrow it down. So we know from physics that everything's energy.
Right.
And that includes your thoughts, your emotions, and your body. And our bodies have energy fields. And again, some of them science now can measure. Interestingly, I worked with some Russian scientists years and years ago. They had machines that worked with human energy that were like quite phenomenal. And I understand there's a lot that goes on in Russia still, but just isn't it translated to English. But so our body has an energy system that has a lot of different parts to it. And a lot of people call what energy centers chakras. And there's energy channels that are kind of like veins and arteries that the energy moves through. And then there's your entire energy field that's in and around you in all directions. And like I say, even though it's an ancient idea, it is something that science is more and more able to comprehend, that we do have these energy fields. And everything has a structure energetically. In fact, a lot of us believe that for something to exist physically, it has to first exist energetically. Yeah. This might be a little bit of a diversion, but I was one time meditating, and sometimes I get shown things, and all of a sudden, I'm being shown this image of an ovum and a sperm, and I hear this is how life begins. And I see them come together, and there's this flash of light, and then there's, if you know what the blastula is, you know how the cells grow. But I'm seeing that first it's an energy framework, and then the cells grow into it. And I'm, you know, like I say, I was a scientist for many years, so I'm thinking, that's pretty cool. I don't know if there's any reality to it. A few days later, I opened a book I'd had for years. I just opened it randomly, and I start reading, when the sperm and the egg come together, there's the flash of blue light, and it goes on and it describes exactly what I saw. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of convincing. I mean, it's still not always true, but it was kind of like, if it's a hallucination, it's a shared hallucination. So the idea is that physical reality always has energetic components to it. And that energy system has a huge effect on us. So people, you know the unconscious mind is very powerful. And, you know, if this is your conscious mind, this is your unconscious mind, and your energy system, including your karma, spiritual contracts, and everything is setting the huge frameworks for your life.
Wow.
So I got into all that. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely and beyond. It's his biggest.
I learned years
our
ago,
energy.
if I got to, not sure, I'll just ask.
Yeah. Well, let's do it, right?
Let's move right into that.
So this is the energetic NLP process that Art Giser is going to take us through. I'm so excited. And let's make sure we announce, please don't listen right now if you're in a car or, you know, in an excavator or any other big machine. Please stop what
flying
you're doing.
an Airbus 321.
Please pull over or land or something before you
Truly.
do this.
So one of my specialties is remote energy work, which, by the way, anybody can learn to do. It's not some mysterious gift. My ego would love it if it were a mysterious gift that only a few of us can do it. I've taught tons of people to do it. Anybody can do it. So my job, no matter where you are, is, if you want it, is to get energy coming in to work with you. And by the way, it works on recording too. I've had people tell me, I didn't think it'd work on recording. And then I remember one guy goes, I was just listening to it on my phone and I was doing something else. And all of a sudden my eyes started watering and I'm shaking and I'm feeling all these releases. He goes, I looked at the phone and went, oh my God, it's real. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to this as a recording, if you pretend it's happening right now, you'll access the energies. And most of my clients are all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you are, the energy is available. In energetic NLP, we always set intention, always give permission. We always put your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom in charge of what happens for you. So my job is to bring the energies in. Your own spirit and your own deep inner wisdom will decide what it wants to do with them. So there's intention, permission, there's putting your wisdom and spirit in charge. And the fourth part is imagination. I've been teaching people over 40 years to work with energy. And I discovered by accident years ago that when they were trying to do it right, when they were trying to be serious, their learning was slow. And as soon as I got them playful, their abilities just blossom. So if you want to do this process with us, and I hope you do, what I'd like you to do is just pretend that it's working. You don't need to believe that it's working, pretend that it's working. When you were a child, you could pretend that you were an astronaut or a ballerina or a surgeon or whatever you want to pretend you were, and you knew it wasn't real in that moment. So in the same way, bring out your playful child, and I want you to just pretend these things are happening. You don't need to see anything, you don't need to feel anything. Just let yourself have whatever experience you're having, which is really hard for a lot of people. So and if part of you is judging and analyzing, just be mindful of it. Don't fight it, don't feed it, but just keep coming back to just going, well, I'm just pretending it's working. Later, you'll know. If not during it, you'll know later. But right now, just pretend. And there's a concept that's unique to energetic NLP. It's called your miraculous self. And unlike your high self, your high self just exists. Your miraculous self you need to create. And your miraculous self is when your spirit, with its vast awareness, and your deep inner human wisdom are closely collaborating and working together to guide you, nurture you, and heal you. And you might think they would automatically work together, but they don't. So bring out your playfulness. Again, the more serious you are about this, even though emotions may be serious to you, bring out some playfulness. And one way to do that is smile. Even if you're faking it, just smile, because then your body will relax. And if you want to right now, set your intention that right now, your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom are forming your miraculous self. And just set that intention. Then give 100% permission for that to happen. And then just pretend it's happening. And pretend that it's happened. It doesn't have to take any time. Just pretend you now have a miraculous self. In the meditation we're about to do, we're going to go through your energy field and chakras and clear energetic programming that interferes with your having a wonderful emotional life, with your having emotional freedom. Now, there will be more we're going to do on emotion, so just let this be a big first step, but a first step. And you can always listen to this recording again and go through it even more. So for right now, if you want it, set your intention that what we're about to do is going to wonderfully enhance your emotional life. And imagine a giant gold ball of energy. And while we're together here in this session on the Peaceful Oasis Live, I want you to imagine that all of us are inside this beautiful gold ball of energy. And that's our peaceful oasis space. And let's just declare it's a space of miracles. It's a space of playfulness. It's a space where it's easy to let go of old blocks and limitations. It's a space where it's easy for your miraculous self to replace the blocks and programming and limitations with wisdom, skills, concepts, and abilities from your miraculous self, from your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom. And that all happens automatically. It's a space where you feel acknowledged, loved, appreciated, and safe. And set your intention that each and every one of us is going to get a wonderful enhancement in our emotional lives as a result of our meditation together. So give 100% permission for that to happen now, for your emotional life to be enhanced. Give 100% permission for your miraculous self to be in charge of how you benefit, what old programming gets dissolved and what it gets replaced with, unconscious programming and energetic programming. And then just start imagining that it's happening right now. Now, the energy will work wherever your miraculous self wants it to work. And for a lot of people, it's helpful to have a light focus. So your energy field goes above your head, probably at least 3 meters, 9 feet. And a lot of you have heard of this, quote unquote, 7 main chakras, crown one on top of your head going down to the root one at the base of your spine. There's a lot more chakras than those. And a number of them are up above your head, up above your crown, in your energy field. And those chakras have a huge effect on your life. They set big parameters for your whole life, what is and isn't possible, and much more. So just give permission now for the energy to work with all of those chakras above your head, clearing them, healing them, and activating them for a more wonderful emotional life. And then just pretend it's happening. And let go of conscious control. You don't need to know anything about those chakras. Your miraculous self knows everything about them. So just let it do its thing. Let it use the energies. You know, when you're around somebody who really knows what they're doing and they're helping you, it's just kind of like, okay, I'm going to just let you do it. Like with a great massage or body work, like, okay. Be sure to smile. Affirm you're giving 100% permission for your emotional life to be improved and enhanced. Pretend that's happening right now. While all that continues, lightly focus on the top of your head. That's the bottom of your crown or seventh chakra. And a ton of programming is literally in your scalp. And we're not trying to get it all at once, just whatever's the right amount. So give your miraculous self permission to start going through that programming and dissolving the old programming that interferes with your having a wonderful emotional life, that generates unpleasant emotions you don't need to have, or prevents you from having more very empowering emotions. Just let the energy come in and really work with all that programming, updating it, replacing it, revising it, releasing it. While all that continues, there's a number of chakras in your head, inside your head, your forehead, the back of your skull, all around your head, the very center of your head. Just imagine the energies working with all the different chakras in your head, clearing them, healing them, and activating them for a more wonderful emotional life. And the energy's continuing, and it's also moving down your throat, working with the throat chakra from the base of the throat, going up even sometimes above your eyebrows, healing it, clearing it, activating it for a more wonderful emotional life. While all that continues, your heart chakra is in the center of your chest. And let gentle, powerful emotions come in and clear old trauma out of your heart chakra and out of anywhere in your body. Gently and powerfully, just releasing it. And you may feel some of it as it's released. Often people don't, sometimes they do. If you're feeling emotions coming up right now, just be mindful of them. Just let them flow out. You don't need to analyze them or do anything around them. Just honor them and let them be released. A lot of it won't be your emotional energy. The majority of it won't be your emotional energy, and some of it will be yours. So just let your whole heart be healed and loved. And reset for a more wonderful emotional life. While that continues, a lot of energy gets stored, a lot of emotional energy gets stored in your lungs, particularly grief. So just let the energy come through and clear grief and other energies out of your lungs. And bring a lot of love into your lungs. While all that continues, the energy is working with your solar plexus below your sternum. Working with that solar plexus or third chakra energy center, clearing it, healing it, setting it for more wonderful emotional life. Let the energy go through all your internal organs, and they have little chakras in them, clearing them, healing them, setting them for more wonderful emotions. And especially energy going through your adrenal glands on top of your kidneys, because they respond so much to stress. Let's heal them of stress and give them a break. Revive them, rejuvenate them. The second chakra is under your navel, and that has a lot to do with emotions, and it's one of the places people hold on to other people's emotional states. It's one of the reasons people often put on weight around their midsection, because they're trying to buffer the other people's emotional energy that's stored there. So just let the energy come in and clear out other people's emotional energy. This emotional energy from other people is being cleared out. It goes into the earth, and the earth recycles it, just turns it back into pure energy. While all that continues, the energy works with the base of your spine, the root and the sacral chakras, clearing them, healing them, resetting them for more wonderful emotional life, resetting them to allow the physical world to support you more. The energy is also working with your legs and arms, your hands and feet, your fingers and toes, working with all the chakras and energy channels in your body, clearing out old emotional energy, replacing it with healing, wonderful energies. And emotional energy can even be stuck in your DNA, so the energy can even clear and heal your DNA. And now the energy is working with your entire energy field, which is in you and around you in all directions. And your whole aura, your whole energy field is being cleared, healed. Our auras can get really beat up. So right now the energy is coming in and soothing your aura, healing it, repairing it, clearing out programming and resetting it for a more wonderful emotional life. And now we're bringing energy in to help you process and integrate what you've just done. You're going to be processing this for at least days. So we're bringing energy in to help you process it in an easy, elegant way. And really integrate the benefits into your life. And then dissolve any grounding you have. And from the heart of the earth, and let the earth do all the work. Give the earth permission to send up a grounding of column of energy near the base of your spine. And this is something I think is unique to energetic NLP, or at least not common. Give the earth permission to ground only your authentic energy into your body. So you're giving the earth permission to ground only your authentic energy into your body. And a fun way to imagine that is imagine there's a point of light in your energy field for every cell in your body, a point of light in your energy field for every cell in your body. And when the earth grounds you, every point of light pops in the cell it belongs in. Bringing all that healing energy of your own authentic energy into all of your cells. And let's just finish up by bringing some energy into the different emotional centers of the brain, like the amygdala. And again, your miraculous self knows where all that is. And let's just do a nice healing and clearing of your whole nervous system, and particularly the emotional centers of the brain. Now ask your miraculous self to fill you up with more of your true essence. We get so full of other people's energy, we literally shove our own energy out. So now there's room for your miraculous self to bring your authentic energy, your true essence, into your body, your cells, your organs, into your chakras, your energy channels, your energy field. And it can also bring in earth and universal energies that will support you in having a more wonderful emotional life, more emotional freedom. And then take your right hand and pat the left side of your body. And your left hand and pat the right side of your body. And then take each hand and pat the same side of the body. Stretch and move a little bit. And in case I forget to say it later, it's really important to drink water after you do energy work, so be sure to drink water. Let's bring in some sparkling wake-up energy. Yes.
Let's see if I can talk. That was truly amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, where do I begin? There were things that I was feeling that I haven't felt for years,
Wow.
and it's going to sound really strange, but one of them was, it was just like this beautiful moment of nursing my daughter.
Oh, wow.
When she was just an infant. And it was, I'm not going to even try to figure out what the heck that was, but it just kind of came through and released, and it wasn't a terrible memory or anything like that, I don't think, but that just came through and out, I guess. And then the other was, as soon as she said, right, it was adrenal glands on the kidneys.
Oh, yeah.
My hands just, got really hot and energy. I mean, really energized, my hands. And then the next one was what was after the kidney?
Below the navel or the spine?
Below the navel, right. Then my feet got really, really hot, and something was releasing there. So by the time you got to the grounding and just, accepting Mother Earth's column of grounding, whew, wow. Truly amazing. So I'm buzzing. I'm happy. I'm feeling really free.
Yeah, your energy looks great.
Yeah. Wow.
And
You too.
and by the way, let me just say for people listening, it's fine if you felt things. It's fine if you didn't. Some of the best healings I've ever received, I didn't feel them. So I just like people know, however you reacted is fine. There's no right way to react to these things.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a quick break, and then we come back and speak with Art, find out some more about what he's up to and where we can find him out there in the world.
Exactly.
We'll be
Great.
right back.
Thanks.
The doctor told me the answer, and now my head is spinning. He said I'm living with cancer, and my journey is just beginning. I'm stressed out and afraid. I have cried and I have prayed. Time to quiet my mind and be still. Take a deep breath and just chill. I put in my earbuds and decompress. Touch play on the app to ease my stress. I'm choosing peaceful relaxation with loving meditations. I'm loving meditations.
And we're back with Art Giser, Energetic NLP, and wow. And so why don't you go ahead and let people know how they can, you actually have a special gift for everybody, but let's give us information on how, because I know after people watch this, they're going to want to work with you.
Oh, thanks. So my website, which is being redone, but it's working, but it's being redone, is energeticnlp.com. So the word energetic, letters NLP, like Nancy Larry Peter.com. And there's a couple things that I would recommend people get. One is I have a mini program. It's a free mini program called the Blockbuster Mini Course. And he says modestly, it's been getting rave reviews. It's only a few weeks old, but even some of my old clients have, and they don't usually email me on this kind of thing, have been emailing me and just going, oh, we really love the new course, and new people have been doing it too. And it's 4 half-hour video sessions that take you through clearing a lot of unconscious programming and energetic programming and more. And you can get to that by going Blockbuster, one word, and then the number 7.com, like lucky 7. So blockbuster7.com, and sign up for the mini course. And if you do that today at the first thing, I've just finished a big program, and you may get some emails about that. Tomorrow I'm going to be revising everything, which isn't a reason to wait. But just if you get some emails about something that already happened, I just haven't had a chance to fix it. And the other thing, I do a 3-day program. I normally only do it once a year, and I just completed it. It's called Discover Your Miraculous Abilities. And the goal of it is for everybody to open up more of their miraculous abilities. And it's not just for healers and coaches. It's everyone has the abilities to work with energies to transform their own and other people's lives. So it's everything I do is about personal and spiritual development. And one of the ways to really do that is by opening up your abilities. And at the end of the 3 days, everybody in it can do remote and in-person healing work with one another, transformative work. And even some of the people in the programs are newbies, some are very experienced, but everybody enhances what they can do. And I'm always thrilled that literally there are people who've been doing energy work for 30 years who go, it just took their work to a whole new level. Yep. So what we recorded it, and the recordings turned out so well, we're going to redo it in a few weeks in kind of a hybrid. The parts of it will be recorded, but other parts we'll do breakout rooms and people will have all the live experience. So again, that just got decided. So everything's not updated, but if they go to a website, Miraculous, the number 1.com, I'm big on numbers, miraculous1.com, they can access the information. And if the dates aren't updated yet, just know that they will be. And if it's something that appeals to you, if you put in Oasis for Peaceful Oasis, you'll get a 90% discount, because I really want to support what Tamara and David are doing. I think this is an amazing show. Show, it's wrong word, amazing experience. It's a show too, but whatever it is, what you're doing in the world is so important. And I really want to reward the people that are part of your community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's very generous. And it's on the screen there, the website and the coupon code for Discover Your Miraculous Abilities.
And I apologize, everything's not updated, but the last 2 days, so many people wanted follow-up calls with me afterwards that it just packed my schedule. So tomorrow I'll be updating.
Oh, boy, this is just so wonderful that you're providing such amazing programs for people, because really it can make a huge difference. And it is interesting because when I was going through the process, one of the things that did come up for me was, wow, wow, this is going to take my psychotherapy practice and coaching practice to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. That's amazing. And what is so exciting for me, because we have a couple more minutes left, what's so exciting for me is that we get to have you back in
Yeah.
2 weeks, July 14th.
14.
For a part 2, because this is really, really juicy and very important discussions we're having. It's a real a game changer, isn't it, for people's lives?
Oh, yeah, I've been teaching portions of this since 1985 when I first learned it. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been tremendous for people. And the next time we'll go through more like Leslie's whole model for approaching emotions, that there are no negative emotions. You don't need to be afraid of any emotions. We'll be working on that. And people will learn some processes they can do on their own when, there's times like when you just don't know what to do with an emotion. There's some really easy things you can do to start clearing other people's energy out of it. And what I found is people can always handle their authentic emotions. It's the other emotions on top of it, whether it's happiness or grief. We can handle our own emotions when they're truly authentic. And so people will be really learning how to do that and how to really understand they have a right to feel whatever they're feeling.
Exactly. The thing that keeps coming up over and over and over is trauma, childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think what you're doing, Art, is even helping people that have had quite a bit of trauma, maybe not even childhood. Maybe they were a veteran coming out of the war and, with all the PTSD and stuff like that out there.
And one of the things we can discuss next time is very often with trauma, particularly physical trauma, but any trauma, is people mentally keep bringing it into the present. Yeah. And you can learn how to keep it in the past in a very structural way by working with the structure of thinking to really put it back in the past. And that completely changes it, because the traumatic experiences we have the most trouble with is because in our mind, when we think of it, it's in the present. Yeah. And there's a way to put it in the past. And I love sharing that with people because it's a game changer.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yes.
Yeah. We keep bringing our history into the present moment. Right. Wow. Yeah.
Well, we wish we had a time machine and we could make it July 14th right now. We'll be patient. And Art, thank you so much for sharing all this incredible, your process, your wisdom, your knowledge. And we are super psyched to do it again in 2 weeks and take it to another level.
Yeah, so grateful.
I'm psyched and I'm honored to be on your show. I think it's such an important show, and I want to thank everybody watching, listening for being part of this.
Thank you so much. So we'll see you in 2 weeks then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.